Over the next 24 hours, I'm gonna platinum where I'll become the fastest achiever in the entire world. Well, not including that one guy who cheated. But if I somehow fail, I'll platinum whatever the top like comment on this video is. Released all the way back in 2010 alongside the animated movie of the same name, How to Train Your Dragon is an action-adventure fighting game developed by a company that doesn't even exist anymore. But with a total of 48 trophies to unlock over the next 24 hours, our story begins after the events of the first film, where following the defeat of the Red Death, the tribe has decided to create a festival which they call Thor'sday Thursday, where all of the teenagers in the village fight dragons that they have trained to try and become the dragon-taming champion. But before we worry about all of that, we'll first need to learn some of the basics, like how to feed and heal our dragon, and since we'll be playing as Hiccup for the very first playthrough, our starting dragon is everyone's favorite Night Fury, Toothless. So after feeding Toothless and getting him back to full health, our dad tells us of a training camp that is located on the other side of the village.
Before entering the tournament arena, you're going to need to train that dragon.
And while we make our way over to the caves, a little fun fact about Stoic that you might not have noticed is the character is actually voiced by Nolan North, who also lent his voice to both Deadpool in the Deadpool game and also David in The Last of Us, which we have platinum both of already on the channel. So now inside the cave, we start learning how to train our dragon. And I wish it was more exciting than this, but all we really did for the next 15 minutes was spam combos over and over again until we finally maxed out each type of training style, starting with the melee training and eventually working our way through the first 4 fire training levels. There we go, boys. That should be all the fire training done. We're already level 5 as well. What the hell? Yeah, there it is. Fire training done. Melee training also done. Hell yeah. Now as maxed out as we could possibly be, Stoic starts yapping about how our dragon is finally ready to take on the first arena. And it's in the arena we could finally go for our first 3 trophies of the game. Starting with the trophy first step for winning our first fight. There we go, that's the first fight done. I'm pretty sure that's a trophy. First step, there we go, first trophy, hell yeah. I'm actually so good at this game. And with our first trophy finally unlocked, our 24 hours starts right now. And this feels like a good time to share just how the fastest achiever scammed his way to victory, as the website PSN Profiles only starts tracking your timer once you achieve your first trophy. And this bloke managed to unlock a trophy that requires you to play the game for 20 hours in only 6 hours, making him 14 hours ahead of everyone else before he's even started playing the game. And I won't lie, that's kind of smart. I wish I did that shit, but I'm dumb as hell, so I'll have to settle for second fastest achiever, which is still possible if we beat the game in less than 24 hours. And only 2 fights later, we are able to unlock our next 2 trophies, including a missable trophy which we unlock for winning the entire first tournament without being defeated by any of the other fighters. Come on, there we go, hell yeah. That is the first arena done. Unstoppable, hell yeah. That's for winning the first tournament without being defeated. We also get new champion for beating the tournament, hell yeah. With the first tournament now over, we head back to the village to find all of the dragon's food has gone missing.
Are you swiping the dragon's food?
No, I'm just bulking up.
So a bloke named Gobber wants us to head into the wilds to gather some resources for the rest of the village. But the wilds can be a dangerous place, so before we head there, we first need to work on capturing and training a second dragon. Okay. I thought that was going to be something cool to do, but they just gave us a dragon. This game is ass. Now 1 hour into the 24-hour session with 2 fully maxed out the wazoo dragons, it was time to make our way into the wilds. But on our travels, we are stopped by a Viking who tells us the bridge to the wilds has actually been destroyed. And if we want his help to fix the bridge, we would first need to collect some tools from the other villagers in town. Lucky for us, that also helps work towards the trophy Great Speaker, where we would need to speak to every single person on the island at least once in the story. And by the time I managed to find all 3 tools needed to fix the broken bridge, there would only be one more Viking left to talk to, being the dodgy bloke hiding out deep in the wild.
Come back later.
Great speaker, there we go, for talking to every single person on the island in story mode. But we still need to gather a good amount of food for Gobber back at the village, so we collected bugs and hunted the wild boar in the area, steadily making progress towards the more wild meat trophy, which we'll unlock later in the video. And since we're already out here in the wilds, it's a good time to take on a few of the new challenges we can do in the area, as to get the trophy Young Competitor, we would need to earn a gold medal in any challenge on novice difficulty. I got 1 point. I lost. I don't understand this. Alright, must be in the green zone when I'm firing. I was overshooting the shit out of that. Young competitor, even though I screwed up the end, we got that one for earning a gold medal. And while we were working towards gold medals in all 3 available challenges, we also ended up unlocking the ultimate customization trophy, which is awarded for unlocking every single customization option for a dragon family. Oh my god, it's so much easier when you know what you're doing. Gold medal first try. Ultimate customization. Don't know how I got that, but I will take it. That is another trophy. So after wrapping up the challenges, we made our way back to Gobber with a full bag of slop. And it's there he rewarded us with a brand new healing recipe for our dragon, before sounding the horn to kick off the second tournament where we would fight fish legs. But if we wanted to unlock the trophy in great shape, we would first have to win the second tournament without healing our dragon during the battles. And honestly, I didn't even know you could exit the tournament midway through to heal your dragon. So not knowing that actually made earning the trophy a whole lot easier. First dragon down, 1 more to go. And then we have another, like 2 trophies, I think. There we go, that's the second tournament done. We should get 2 trophies for this one. In great shape. For not healing our dragons during the fights. And there's Courageous for winning against the second leader. Hell yeah. With 2 tournaments now behind us, we return to discover all of the dragons have been let loose and are now causing chaos in the wilds. But if we want to have any hope of getting them back, we'll need to first catch and train a 3rd dragon, which is something we're finally allowed to do after our latest tournament victory. But you might have noticed that this is the 2nd time that we've chosen to tame the deadly Natter. And there is a good reason for that, as once we've fully trained this bad boy up, we'll be able to abuse one of the game's most broken combat mechanics to breeze through the rest of the tournaments. Assuming of course I can actually get the combo timing down. With our new dragon's combat training wrapped up for the moment, we had more than enough characteristic points to train our dragon the way we wanted to. And it was after assigning our 20th point, we managed to unlock the next trophy for doing just that. Perfectionist, there we go. For upgrading our dragon. I wish I did this a little bit earlier, it might have made things a bit easier, but hey, better late than never. Now our guy's gonna be so strong. With our dragon now as strong as it possibly could be for the time being, we headed back deep into the wilds for another encounter with the shady Viking we met earlier. This time, however, he reveals that he's the one who has our dragons, and if we want them back, we'll first have to defeat him in a battle. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, for whatever reason, the deadly Natter is kind of an overpowered dragon, as I was able to button mash the same combo over and over again, and there wasn't much the poor bloke could do about it. Okay, I might have trained my dragon a little bit too good. Duelist, there we go, for winning our first duel. With all of our dragons finally returned, though not exactly in peak condition, we made our way back to the village to check in with our boy Gobber, hoping he had something to help revive our struggling team. And that's when he sends us out on another ingredient hunt. This time though, the items we need can only be picked up by either buying them from the shop or earning them through some of the tougher challenges out in the wilds. But since we're trying to save every bit of gold we can get our grubby little hands on for the Viking gold trophy, buying all of the items we need from the shop wasn't really an option. So it was back to the wilds for us, but this time to take on those harder challenges. And while we're here, we might as well get a gold medal on all 5 challenges to unlock our next trophy, as not only does that get us a little bit closer to maxing out our dragon, but it also unlocks another much needed trophy in the process. Holy shit, that took forever. Gold medal, you love to see it. Circle, circle, triangle, cross, circle. Oh my god, what was it? Circle, circle, triangle. Oh my god. God damn it. Circle, cross, square, cross, circle. Okay, come on. Circle, cross, square, cross, circle. There we go. Gold medal. Hell yeah. This should be the final gold. Please tell me I got them all right. I don't know how many I was meant to get, but I think this should be good. Success. There we go. Gold medal in every single challenge. I don't know how I managed to do that last one, but I will take it. But after loading our bag with even more slop, we would head back to our boy Gobber, where in exchange for all the crap we collected for him, he would heal our dragons up to full health just in time for the 3rd tournament. But this time around, the missable trophy tied to the event wants us to face off against all of Tough Nut's goons in order from weakest to the strongest. And after battling our way through the entire lineup and finally taking down Tough Nut himself, we barely have time to catch our breath before his sister Rough Nut shows up and challenges us to a scrap herself. But again, the deadly Natter is so busted it does not even matter, as we wipe our whole squad without even losing a single dragon of our own. There we go, Valiant. Achievement. That's for fighting the lowest player in every single round. You also get Daring for beating the actual tournament. With 3 tournaments behind us and just 2 left to go, we return to the village only to find that the tournament horn has mysteriously gone missing. And without it, we can't begin the next tournament, meaning if we wanted to unlock any more trophies, we would first need to find the missing horn and return it to its rightful place. But that search will have to wait, as it's now 4 in the morning, and with just 19 hours left in the challenge, if I fail, I'll have to platinum whatever game ends up being the top comment. But like I mentioned earlier in the video, this downtime wouldn't be as bad as it sounds, as we would need to play the same save file for a total of 20 hours to unlock the Viking inhabitant trophy anyway. So with my game plan written down for tomorrow, I finally called it a night and went to sleep, which gives me the perfect amount of time to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm currently platinuming every single Spider-Man game, and if I reach 10,000 subscribers before I finish the first 4 games, I will buy a brand new Xbox 360 and platinum the most expensive Spider-Man game that does not have a platinum trophy. But that's only if you subscribe. I know this sounds stupid, but I just woke up and I'm ready to play some How to Train Your Dragon. Now kind of awake and ready to get back on the grind. With only 12 hours left to platinum the rest of the game, we headed down to the docks and got our 4th and final dragon, this time making sure we captured a completely different dragon. No, I'm kidding. We got a 3rd deadly natter. The sad part is we won't even really use this little guys. We only need 1 dragon to beat every fight in the game. We do, however, get the trophy Dragon Doctor for making sure all 4 of our dragons are in tip-top shape, which we can only unlock now that we have our new mate on the team. So look at that, he's good for something after all, I guess. Dragon Doctor, there we go. Making sure that all of our dragons are in tip-top health. They are juiced out the wazoo. 11 hours, 41 minutes. We have another 12 hours to try and beat this game. I don't even know if I can do that. So with the first task I set myself the night before finally checked off, I now had just 4 more things to tackle this morning before wrapping up the story portion of this platinum. The next task, though, was going to be a serious grind, as all I had written down was train dragons, which as it turns out was a lot more time consuming than it sounded. First we train, then we dragon, then we train our dragon. Yeah, it doesn't work. It does not work at all. So for the first few hours, that's exactly what we focused on. Starting with my original dragon, Toothless, the one I'd pretty much ignored ever since he bolted about 11 hours ago. I began by working my way through all 7 melee training sessions, and only once they were done did I move on to the fire training, where finally, after completing every single last one, we unlocked our next trophy for finishing all trainings on a single dragon. Weapon Master, there we go, for having a maxed out dragon, and what better one to pick. I didn't stop there, as I still had 3 more dragons to train, making sure I maxed out every single last one of them, even the little shit one that I had no plans of ever needing. Oh my god, is that it? It is, thank god. That is all of my dragons maxed out. We can finally get on with the story. So with all 4 of our big boys now trained and ready for the next tournament, it was time to shift our focus back to finding that missing horn from the night before. So we wasted no time racing over to grab that shit and brought it straight back to the village.
Good, you found it. Well, you deserve to blow the horn. Head on over to the docks and give it a toot to start the next tournament.
With the 4th tournament now ready to begin, we first had to make sure our dragons were up to the fight. That's because to unlock the missable trophy tied to tournament 4, we'd need to win every single round, making sure to fight the highest rated opponent each time. And it was while picking the weeds needed to fully heal our boys, we managed to collect our 1000th ingredient, unlocking us another trophy. Rich Harvest, there we go. I was not expecting to get that already. That's for gathering 1000 common ingredients, hell yeah. Just in time for the 4th tournament. Oh, after I heal. Oh my god, that would have been close. Gonna heal first. There we go, all healed up. That would have been so close. God damn. All right, come on. Let's do this. We got to fight the highest person each time, and only then will we get the missable trophy. And that's exactly what we did. Using our broken dragon, we quickly took out all of Astrid's goons one by one, until finally we come face to face with Astrid herself. All right, Astrid, me and you're going down. Come on, final bit. Oh my god, I did it. That was the hardest one yet. We get the trophy Brave for taking out the tournament, only fighting the hardest fighters. And we get Fearless for actually finishing the tournament. Hell yeah. We have one more tournament to go and then the game is done. All we have to do is collect the slop and play it one more time. With just 9 hours remaining in the challenge, we made our way back to the village, only to find the other kids yapping about losing their fight. But Snotloud has gone and caught himself some rare new dragons that probably won't help him, as with only one tournament remaining, if they wanted to become the dragon-taming champion, they would need to train even harder to have a chance of beating my stupidly broken dragons. And to make it even harder on the rest of the fighters, we make our way back into the wilds to gather the last bit of XP needed to max out all of our dragons. And it's here we can unlock our next 8 trophies, starting with the trophy Outstanding Competitor, which we get for earning a gold medal in any challenge on normal difficulty. 65 points should be plenty. It sure is. There we go. Outstanding Competitor for getting a gold medal on our first normal challenge. Now we just have to work on the expert challenges and that should be a few more trophies. But while grinding through these expert level challenges, we also took the opportunity to knock out the difficulty specific trophies tied to each of the 5 challenges. First up was the What an Artist trophy, which we earned by successfully sculpting 10 ice blocks in a row without messing up. Extreme Competitor. That one's for earning the gold on the Extreme Challenge. Come on, one more to go. Oh my god. At the end, no. Oh my god, I did it. What an artist. Oh my god. I can't believe I actually did that. Next up was the Flying Challenge, which had us soaring through a series of rings in hope of clearing 5 checkpoints in a row to unlock our next trophy. Hit the bullseye. There we go. 5 rings without missing it. That might have been the easiest one yet. God damn. The next challenge, however, wasn't nearly as easy. As to unlock the Shepherd Dragon trophy, we needed to round up and return 5 brown sheep in a row, which sounds simple enough until it wasn't, because for whatever reason, when I brought the 5th brown sheep back to the pen, the trophy didn't pop. And to add insult to injury, we didn't even get a gold medal, so we would have to play the entire challenge all over again. We did, however, unlock the trophy Enlightened for gathering our 100th rare ingredient. And finally, 10 minutes later, we collected our 5th sheep in a row, unlocking us another trophy. Shepherd down. There we go. It actually worked this time. That's 5 brown sheep in a row. 3 challenges down and now only 2 more to go. The Memory Torch challenge had us performing 6 sequences in a row without failing, as each sequence slowly got harder and harder as the challenge went on. Brainy, there we go, 6 sequences done. That shit was hard as hell. And finally, to finish off all challenge related trophies for now, we recreated 3 dragons in a row without making any mistakes during the Puzzle Dragon challenge. Precise, there we go, for recreating 3 dragons in a row without making a mistake. We should also get the gold medal trophy for beating every single challenge. Or not, I guess we're getting Viking gold instead. That's the trophy for 10,000 gold in story mode. There we go, game over for getting a gold medal on every single challenge. With our main dragon now juiced to the max, there was no way we could possibly lose the 5th and final tournament, which works perfectly for us because the missable trophy tied to this tournament requires us to take down every previous tournament champion one last time. So first up was our boy Fishlegs, who put up a solid fight and actually managed to knock us down to our last quarter of health. But things only got more intense from here as our next opponent, Tough Nut, pushed us even closer to the edge, slowly chipping us away until we were hanging on by just a slither of health. With 2 fights down and 3 still to go, our next challenger was Rough Nut, who might have given us some trouble if our dragon wasn't completely overpowered. Oh my god, there we go, Rough Nut is down. Not many to go now. Oh my god, I can feel it. There must be what, like 2 or 3? It is so close. Now with only 2 challenges left between us becoming the dragon-taming champion and finally wrapping up this entire story, the moment we'd been working towards for the past 17 hours was finally in reach. But even with a maxed out Chad dragon, Astrid had me sweating a kid's game just a little harder than I'd like to admit. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. We did it. Astrid is down. We have 1 more bloke to fight and then we are done with the story. Snotloud, on the other hand, was complete ass. And despite him chatting so much shit throughout the entire game, the final fight was over in less than 3 minutes, and to rub it in that little bit harder, we didn't even lose a quarter of our dragon's health in the entire fight. Oh my god, I actually did it. That was the last guy. He was so easy. That's the story done. Oh my god. Glory to Hiccup. There we go, for beating the game playing with Hiccup. Kind of a little self-explanatory, I guess, but we did it. We also get invulnerable for winning the final championship with none of our dragons being KO'd. And with the main story now over, it was time to head back and collect the slot we missed along the way. Starting with the shop-related trophies that we can finally unlock now that we have the Viking gold trophy. Here we go. I should get another trophy for buying all the recipes from the shop. Yeah, there it is. Cooking Master. Now, if we just spend $10,000 on crap, we should be able to get the other trophy. Oh yeah, Shopping Master. That's for spending all 10,000 gold we've been saving up. But we still need our gold for one more trophy, so after a quick restart of our game, we are back to 10,000 gold and get on to our next big grind. We would have to catch a total of 200 chickens for the trophy in feathers. And as we finish the game with a total of 125 chickens caught, we would only need to catch 75 more to unlock the trophy. There we go, in feathers. That's 200 chicken. Make that 201. But the grind wasn't over yet, as to get the trophy more wild meat, we would need to round up another 64 wild boar in the wild zone. More wild meat. There we go, 200 wild boar. With all the collectible trophies finally out the way, we headed back to the weird Viking bloke. This time though, he wants to challenge us to a series of battles for a shot at earning rare dragons. So with our brokenly overpowered dragon, we took down every fight with ease. And after our 11th fight, we finally unlocked all 11 legendary dragons. There we go, Bootleg Toothless is down. I'm pretty sure that was the 11th. Yeah, it was. Belonged to the legend. For unlocking every single legendary dragon. But the battles didn't stop there, as we still needed to win 6 more fights that would give us the last bit of XP needed to max out our dragons to their highest possible level. Here we go. This should be the final fight. It is an hour of my life I will never get back. But we got it. A legendary fighter for winning every single fight. And if I didn't screw up, that should also give us another trophy. There it is. Final evolution for having a level 25 dragon. So with one dragon fully maxed out and the 20-hour trophy nearly within reach, there was still one last task to complete during our first playthrough of the game, as we still needed to level up our remaining 3 dragons to 25 to officially wrap things up. So that meant we needed to head back to the challenges one final time, but this time to squeeze out the last bit of XP needed to finally finish training our dragons, which is when everything fell apart. Oh my god, no. Viking inhabitant. Shit. That's the trophy for the 20-hour mark. So we've been playing now for 20 hours. Best case scenario, I would have already hopefully have been through the next part, but I'm still like, geez, I'm still like 2 or 3 hours behind. I don't know if this 24 hours is actually going to be possible. I'll try my best, but it is not looking good. This should be the final challenge that we need for the level 25s. I feel so defeated because I know that it's just like, it's not possible. Yeah, there it is. All stars. That's level 25 for every single dragon. I was grinding those challenges out for 2.5 hours. And it still wasn't enough. So with all the story mode trophies now obtained, it was time to head over to the arcade section of the game, where we were able to get our first trophy for importing a dragon from the main game. Ally or enemy. Gotta love an easy trophy after a long shit grind. I will take any easy one I can get. And lucky for us, the trophies don't get much harder from there, as our next few trophies all revolve around winning fights in the arcade mode. But because we imported our overpowered dragon from the story, we are able to slowly grub our way through the first 10 fights. Commander, that is 10 wins in a row on hard. These trophies are gonna take forever. I was so far behind on time. But for our next trophy, we are able to lower the difficulty down to easy, as we only need another 10 more wins to unlock the trophy Exceptional Trainer. There we go, Exceptional Trainer. It's taking me about a minute per win, and we have to get like 100 of these things. So yeah, this is gonna suck. But it's now time to say goodbye to our overpowered dragon from the main story, as to unlock the trophy They Are Alive, we would need to win 20 fights with a team of dragons created with the dragon editor. So after creating a bootleg version of our boy, we headed back to the challenge and won 20 more fights. They Are Alive, there we go. That's a total of 40 wins now. Only 60 more to go. The next stretch of battles had us assembling different teams of dragons, rotating them to ensure that each dragon won at least one fight. All for one, there we go. That's for making sure every dragon has won a fight. I have no clue how many wins this is now, but all we need to do is get to 100, so we've probably got like 50 or so to go. And finally, just 1 hour later, we are able to unlock the trophy Conqueror for winning 100 fights in the arcade mode. There we go, 100 fights. Now we only need a few more perfects and we should get the final arcade trophy. I can't let it hit me now. Unless I counted wrong, this should be number 50. There it is. Finally. Perfect. For winning 50 fights without being injured. That was a challenge. God damn. But tragically, this also marked the end of our 24-hour challenge. As with just 3 minutes and 32 seconds remaining on the clock, it was now physically impossible to obtain the last trophy we needed before our 24 hours was up. Yeah, shit. I'm not getting this plat, eh? Not in under 24 hours. The second dude did beat it in 28 hours though, so I might still be able to get second fastest achiever. We'll give it a crack, but it's gonna be so tight. I've gotta hurry. So with a new game plan in place and the challenge now extended to 28 hours, it was time for one final push as we set out to replay the entire game from start to finish. So we began by training our dragon, who this time around was the overpowered Deadly Natter. We then breezed through the opening tournament where we showed Snotloud who was boss. We caught our second dragon and fixed the Wild Zone bridge, allowing us to further train our dragons. We took down Fish Legs in the second tournament before catching and training yet another dragon. We fought the weird Viking bloke and got our dragons back before beating Rough Nut and Tough Nut in tournament 3. We then caught our final dragon and trained some more before getting gold medals on all challenges, where we were now finally strong enough to take down Hiccup in the 4th tournament. Then without wasting a single moment, we jumped straight back into the final tournament where we faced every champion one last time, determined to become the dragon-taming champion yet again and unlock ourselves the final trophy needed to obtain the platinum. That is Hiccup down. There's only one more fight to go and then we have the platinum. Once we beat Snotlout, it is game over. Platinum trophy earned. And that's all it takes. Snotlout is dead. Glory to Astrid. There we go. Best Viking ever. Platinum trophy for beating How to Train Your Dragon. But the question is, did I get fastest achiever? Oh my god, I did. By an hour. I couldn't have got any closer if I tried. Thank you guys so much for making it all the way to the end of my How to Train Your Dragon Platinum trophy. Like I said, if I didn't beat this in 24 hours, I'll be platinuming whatever the top comment is. So make sure you comment your favorite games down below, and if it's the top comment, then I'm gonna have to platinum it.